Hey, Jeff Nelson, thanks for tuning in. Okay, I have to admit it, in case it wasn't obvious, this isn't really me, or at least it's not my body. This is a guy named Frank Medrano, who is a calisthenics expert on the internet, but it's what I'm going to look like in a year or two from now if I keep up with my own calisthenics program. I'm headed there, okay? So I've been asked, what do I typically eat as someone who's been vegetarian for about 34 years and vegan for almost 29 years? I will admit that people may find my diet boring. That's a term my wife sometimes uses for it. But to me, I enjoy it a lot. And most importantly, I keep my weight and my biomarkers where I want them to be by eating this way. And I feel healthy and I feel good. So here's a typical day. I should say that my blood pressure was creeping up last year. And then in December, almost a year ago, I did a 10-day water fast at a place called True North Health in Santa Rosa. And Santa Rosa, California, I brought my blood pressure way down, and it stayed way down since then. I made a video about that experience. It's on my channel if you want to watch it, about how incredibly good it was for my health to do that 10-day fast. But since that time, I want to be sure my blood pressure doesn't go up. So I start off most mornings taking my blood pressure as soon as I wake up. And here you can see I have the cuff on my arm and the air is starting to fill it. The dog is jumping up on the bed in the morning, Sydney, the cattle dog, and it's 111/70, pulse of 46. That's kind of a little actually high for me. My pulse is usually around 41. My blood pressure tends to be lower later in the day. I don't know why. But next I'm out of bed and I'm on the scale, and it's showing that I'm 162.2. I do this every day. That, of course, includes the weight of my phone. Without my phone, I'm at 161.8 today. Usually, I'm between 158 and 162, and as long as I'm within that range, I don't really think about it. And that's pretty much always. Next, I go downstairs for water, and we drink distilled water mostly. This is the machine that we use, and I have a couple of pitchers there in the morning that I fill up, and then I take the machine and fill the machine up with water. You can see when I open it, there's some kind of orangey gunk at the bottom. That's the stuff that, yep, good morning, Angelo. That's the stuff that I don't want to drink. I'm glad. What is it? Fluoride? Pesticides? Who knows? It's not in my body. So I rinse out the thing and I fill it up again. I refill it and I put it on and turn it back on. And we have another couple of pitchers ready in an hour or so, unless the kids are visiting. That's 2 to 4 pitchers a day. When I get up then, I like to run, but before I do, I have a glass of water. And since it's distilled, maybe once every few days, I add some stuff to the water, some silica, some trace minerals, and methylene blue is another thing I like. It's not critical to do this, but since there's nothing but water in this distilled water, minerals have been removed, I like to put some minerals back. Then it's out the door for a 6-mile run. That's what I run pretty much every day. I run around where we live. Sometimes I drive to run to some hills. I run around 9 minutes per mile, my pace, and at least twice a week I mix in some sprints. And it's important to add fast running there. High exertion exercise is really good for your heart. So then I eat an early lunch, often around 11 or so. And today it's just frozen mixed veggies that I got. And sometimes I'll cut up mushrooms or tomatoes or whatever and put them in. I put them into a wok. I add some sodium-free veggie broth or maybe just water like I'm doing today. It doesn't matter. I put it on high, just enough, water to keep it from burning. Next, I'm going to get some romaine lettuce or some other kind of lettuce and chop it up. And this is important. I do this just about every meal. I put it in a bowl. My wife made white rice yesterday, so I get some from the fridge and add it in. We like this organic parboiled basmati, which is sometimes hard to find. Parboil, it just means it's been partially boiled in water and then removed before it's fully cooked. The rice is briefly boiled and then typically subjected to further cooking, like roasting, frying, or steaming. Here is some information. It says parboiling rice improves its texture, increases its shelf life, and provides health benefits. Parboiled rice is higher in fiber and protein than white rice. Okay, so when the veggies are hot and just the right consistency, I will add them to the rice and the meal. There we go. We got rice, veggies, and lettuce. Now I love this Robbie's barbecue sauce, as it's called. It's fat-free, gluten-free, low-calorie, low-sodium. It only has 33 or 30 calories and 40 milligrams of sodium, which is very low. Very low. For comparison, here's a Trader Joe's barbecue sauce, and it shows it has about 250 milligrams of sodium. Yeah, no thanks. Here's another good sauce that you might like. It's called the Date Lady Smoky Barbecue Organic. Here's the nutrition card, and you can see it's only 37 calories and 36 milligrams of sodium. So that's another good low sodium one. Normally, my wife has made beans, but not today. So I'm using these canned beans. They are fat-free refried beans from Trader Joe's. I love them. They're 460 milligrams of sodium per half cup. So, you know, that's a lot. I only eat these from time to time. I'll add them to the dish. And then that's basically what I'm eating for my lunch. After lunch, if I'm still wanting more, if I want a snack, I'll have some watermelon. This is watermelon season. I'll cut up some dates and add them to the watermelon and eat it with a fork. And very delicious, very sweet, very satisfying snack or dessert for your lunch. Now, every 2 or 3 days, I do pull-ups and pull exercises. And then I do push-ups on the other days and push exercises. Today is pull-ups. So I start by doing what I can, maybe a half dozen. And when I've reached the max, then I put on a weighted vest. And I think it adds about 30 pounds. And I do negative pull-ups, which is, I'm only doing the lowering phase of the movement. I'm trying to control my descent. And this builds some muscles by, you know, going slowly as you go down. Then I will do negatives of just the initial part of the pull-up, the scapular retractors, as they're called, the muscles between your shoulder blades. So then it's dinner around 5 or 6. I get more frozen veggies. This time it's an Italian blend, and I add them to the wok. I add some more. I'm adding some fat-free marinara sauce from Whole Foods for flavor. Then I'm going to add some water and heat it all up. And I'm going to have garbanzo beans with this dinner. Now, these aren't the ones with no added salt, which I get at Whole Foods. So I have to rinse these out a bunch. I really want to get as much sodium off them before I eat them. Then, you know, once again, I'm going to chop the romaine salad that I want. I'm going to add this to the bowl. And then I'm going to add some parboiled rice that my wife has just made. So it's warm and it's very tasty right after you make it. And I add the garbanzos. And once they're ready, I'm going to add the veggies to the rice and lettuce. I'm going to add some Robbie's sauce. And it's dinner time. Yeah. So that's what I ate. And if what I eat in a day is a popular feature, how about what I eat in 2 days? Okay. And once again, I'm doing the blood pressure. And it comes out at, what was it that day? 116/72. It's higher than I like, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's fine enough. I'm on the scale. It's the same as it was yesterday, 161.8. All right, someone's waiting for me. It's Angelo. Ready to wake me up. Angelo's, she's really actually a little Diabolo. He insists on eating first, so he's vocal and he gets his way. Next, it's time to turn on the espresso maker. Put some coffee in there. Once it's warm enough, let's get the coffee into the mug. Ooh, it starts smelling good. And then once I got a little, you know, quarter or half a cup, add some almond creamer from Silk. Fill it up. It smells delicious. Are you ready? But no, it's not for me. It's for our wonderful housekeeper. I don't drink coffee and I don't drink my calories. Meanwhile, I do the water drill for the morning. I pour the water from the distiller into a couple pitchers. I put more water on, and then it's time to head out. Another beautiful day with perfect weather. Yeah. So it's about 11 and time for lunch, which is the same as yesterday's lunch, mixed veggies. And I'm going to put them in the wok, put some water in, turn on the stove. Then I'm going to get some parboiled rice. I'm going to get the romaine lettuce, as usual, you know the drill. I'm going to put the veggies on top once again, and with my Robbie's barbecue sauce and some refried beans, I should be all set. Now, dinner is, you probably guessed it, it's going to be veggies and lettuce and barbecue sauce, and I might add some beans, or maybe not. You know, McDougall always said that 1 cup of beans a day is good. You generally don't want to go way beyond that. Sometimes I have no beans, just, starch and rice, potatoes, some kind of quinoa pasta, and then veggies, lettuce, some kind of sauce. I will often have a few dates at the end of lunch or dinner if I feel like it, 4 or 5 dates, and then I'm stuffed. I'm pretty good. I also sometimes have oatmeal and fruit for breakfast if I run early. Otherwise, it's not too hard if I get back later to wait until lunch. So really, that's it. This is the way I eat. It's very satisfying for me. We go out for dinner sometimes, and so, that'll be a little different, and we'll have parties. I'll go to birthdays or get-togethers. In those cases, I'm going to venture off the reservation to some degree. But in general, I keep it very simple, and it works for me. So I hope you enjoyed this. If so, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.